Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever, whenever that you may be watching. This is Yonks, and this is now our 20th day of our 180-day live stream challenge and sprint. We've got the Google Docs going over here, and that's something that you can find wherever that you are live streaming from. And the Google Docs is definitely very tab heavy. And looking at the tabs, we're actually in the progress section. We're going to likely be bouncing back and forth between the teams and brand section of this document. But yeah, this is our office hours. And just scrolling down this document, we'll always talk about our FELG culture, fun, earning, learning, and giving. And you can see here, this office hours doesn't really have any agenda in it, and that's by design. So on that note, I'm gonna stop talking real quick and see if there's anything from the rest of our pre-launch team here. Ernest, I am Lotus, and Tyler, what would you all like to talk about during our office hours?
Um,
Did,
yeah, always looking for tasks.
did, did we officially vote on KYC yet? Do we want to get that set up?
No, I think that we just need to make a decision, and I think that we would be better served with using Synapse. I think they're more Web3 native than Persona, and I think that they'll probably provide a better experience and a more responsive experience than Synapse or than Persona. And the reason that we're looking at Synapse and Persona is for one simple reason, and I actually have the Charmverse space here for my IRA fund, and it's not only for my IRA fund, but like we're planning to use Charmverse quite a lot. Like really expect we have functionally well, we're still pre-launching We Own Club of Colorado, which is a hyper-local investment club here, and really hoping to have my IRA fund be as a mechanism so that when people are making their club contributions, like $100 a month or whatever, and what do you know what the new limit is, Tyler? Does it go up for 2025 or is it still the 7,000 as it's been for a little while?
I'm not sure. Let me Google it real quick.
And the number doesn't matter. Go ahead. I think I heard you saying something.
Yeah, it's 7,000. And unless that changes, that tends to change and as part of a tax package. So it'll be 7,000 unless they pass a new tax package with a different limit.
So here's the Charmverse space for We Own Club of Colorado, and that's another one of the reasons that wanting again to use Charmverse is it has token gating, and it's really like for We Own Agents or for AiAgents.Box, and here for my IRA fund, we're going to have our Charmverse space that collab, and we don't have any details on our Charmverse yet for myIRA.fund, and this is one of the things that we will likely use for doing the governance. We're positioning myIRA.fund as a member-owned cooperative, a Colorado public benefit corporation operating as a limited cooperative association. So always looking for tasks. I'm going to put this here from Ernest, and this is one of the things that will still be a work in progress. This is another thing that we can potentially use, the rewards. Have you looked at the rewards, how that workflow works in Charmverse yet, Ernest? If you're saying something, you don't have your mic open.
Sorry. I got a little background noise right now. No, I have not seen. I mean, yeah, I've not seen this content specifically. I
So
probably have a
go
general understanding if it's like every other rewards in Web3.
Yeah, and it's just that it's some of the native functionality. We use the impact community template here, and this is something, like already mentioned, we own Club of Colorado, and that's one of the things through iLocal FYI that we're really wanting to template like funds and investment clubs that could potentially again benefit from the, at least for the US based people here, that can take advantage of the that are subject to IRS reporting. I don't know if there's really any benefit for people internationally that still may be subject to paying some funds to the IRS for funds that they made for their contributions here to US organizations. But rewards is a framework. And now that I'm thinking of it, one of the things that we can absolutely do, and you can see here, I have some open tabs. And I was actually thinking of doing this like I was here a couple hours ago, going through the process of doing a couple things. I was like, we've got this live stream coming up here, this office hours. I'll just wait and do a couple things here during the office hours. So let me just switch gears and I'm going to go to this first tab over here. So base names. We are building on base initially, and this is one of the things, just as a side note, fully expect that AI agents will really abstract away a lot of the technology, whether it's whatever chain it is, but just to keep things simpler for getting our first several phases, our alpha MVP, minimum viable product, and our beta for our launch phases, our minimum viable product there. Just going to simplify building on base. But I'm going to go ahead I've got my IRA dot or myIRA.Fund.eth as the primary name, but going to go ahead and register. It's pretty affordable, like 0.001 ETH, and number go up, number go down. That's about, less than $3. So for a name, and there's actually some additional functionality, but I'm going to go ahead and click on register. This account is already pre-funded a little bit. I sent over 0.001 ETH on Ethereum on base and also on mainnet just to do some simple transactions. So anyway, I'm going to click on register name, and this is something that we can play around with, and I'll show you what I mean by that here in a minute as far as some frames. But registering my IRA fund.base.eth. Congrats, this name is yours, and I'll get a screenshot of that. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the screenshot for anything. But here we go. Has anybody else registered their own base name yet?
No.
So let me show you what I'm talking about by some enhanced functionality. So customize profile.
I don't think, anyways. Let me see. I could.
So yeah, it's just at base.org/name or names. I picked up and if you go through some steps, they'll like if you do the KYC, if you have a Coinbase account, and this is
That
one of
was
the
it. Do they
yeah.
KYC you when you do your name? Yeah, that's where I stopped.
No. So that's only if you want to. That's an optional thing. So if you don't have to do KYC, like here, there wasn't any KYC. I've not done any KYC for anything related to my IRA fund right now. Now, when we start opening up a Coinbase.com centralized exchange account, you can get your base name for free though if you do associate your on-chain identity like Gitcoin passport. That's one of the things that you can get some additional score with Gitcoin passport, which is one of our future working groups. Like we've talked about implementing the Gitcoin passport score within the unlock protocol with AiAgents.Box. Haven't done that yet. The $7 USDC may be enough, but I still think that may be fun to experiment, but was wanting to go through our tools working group. But anyway, I'm going to copy and paste some of these details that I've got in here for my IRA.fund, like the bio, something that I've got on a clipboard. Let's see what we got that. Your On-chain IRA solution coming soon. AI Agents Phase 2, project incubated by AiAgents.Box, part of 3-1 Social DAO ecosystem. Next. Twitter username is myIRA.Fund. Don't have a Farcaster yet. We do have a GitHub at myIRA.Fund. myIRA.Fund. And that's enough for this initial profile. We can update this later. And for areas of expertise, we're just gonna do, let's see, this is a community, so we'll do community. We'll do legal and marketing. Maybe, yeah, marketing. Not really relevant. This is more for a personal profile where you're wanting to showcase some skills. So here's what that looks like. base.org/name/myIRA.Fund. And I think I'm going to add one other thing here. I'm going to slightly change the description with, I'm going to put this on the front end of it because I think it'll look fine here. Location, and I'm going to put on here, I can't remember if I have the, I get the United States flag and put United States on here because it really is only a benefit for United States. And this will be another slight transaction fee because this is all done on chain as well. But you can see it's less than a penny because it's on base, which is so much more affordable than updating the ENS on Ethereum mainnet. So this is the big value proposition here, is that you can pin a frame to your profile. And this is really like, since Farcaster is built on base, it really, like, frames is really a Farcaster thing. So this is something that we may play around with. I think that there's, yeah, let me upload this image here too real quick. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with ENS and their on-chain name chain or whatever, whenever that comes out. Right now, just using the bank emoji for myIRA.Fund and save avatar. And this is just, again, grabbing some easy namespace for us here. One of the things that we need to do to add some functionality right now, we have no NFTs represented. And that's one of the things with Charmverse, is that, like, using the token gating so that we don't have to manually or through some other process do usernames. So we're gonna follow, like, over here on hats, and I'm gonna just launch the app. I've got a couple tabs here to create the new tree, but I was wanting to just explore, because this is where wanting to create a similar tree that we have for AiAgents.Box and iLocal. I think it's probably InvestLocal. I can't remember if we created the InvestLocal. You can see some of our other ecosystem hats: Duna DAO, 3-Win DAO, Gigs Go Green, On-Chain Bootcamp, Colorado Blockchain, and let's see, BFF.box, which is not going to be a brand that we're going to be leaning into. And here's InvestLocal, AiAgents.Box. So let's take a look at this, because, again, wanting to do very similar hat here to that, at least the initial one. And teams, and I don't know, probably do a DAO tree too, but let's go ahead and just do the one for our free launch team. So let's start off here. I'm already have the wallet connected with myIRA.Fund, and I've got another tab. This is basically going through my roles, create a new tree, which is went through the steps already here, uploaded the image, named the hat, and copied and pasted in the details. So let's go ahead and create on base. And here's the on-chain transaction to tree created. So we'll do again the let me go back to the AiAgents.Box tree. Let me collapse this to make it so we can see it a little better here. So this is tree 109 on base, and our hats tree is hat 113 on base. So I'm going to grab a real quick screenshot of our brand new tree with no branches on hats protocol. And Hats Protocol, I'm still thinking could be a really great solution for potentially doing our open source artificial intelligence management system. And that's something that I'll be continuing to talk a lot about because it's a lot easier to start a good documentation with the idea in mind than going back and redocumenting things later. And that will become a lot more apparent when we start deploying some AI agents.
What'd you just call it?
It's AIMS, Artificial Intelligence Management System, and this is a reference in ISO.org.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The
Do we have are you able to actually see that ISO, or is it gated through
yeah, we need to buy the publication. It's 100, I'm not sure what it is in what CHF converts to. Let me see. CH
what's the ISO number?
42,001.
42,001.
Um, and that currency is CHF, 29 CHF to USD. So this ISO publication is like $220. So this is something that when we get myIRA funded, absolutely obtaining this ISO on the roadmap for myIRA.fund. And this is something that we're going to be incorporating in our pitch deck. And the goal with this is just to follow best practices. And I will never get tired of talking about best practices because that's and we're still very early. I mean, like I would say definitely early adopters of artificial intelligence and especially AI agents regarding handling of individual retirement arrangements. And talking about like one of the things we talked about KYC, who are we going to use for KYC? I would still like to put forward the goal of us as an organization, myIRA.fund, seeing if we can personally collect as an organization zero information through a centralized entity where because this may be if we can do that this may be the first privacy forward IRA that even exists in the United States. Now, what that would look like is instead of us as an organization doing the KYC, that would be done. And this is probably more of like a phase 2 dynamic, but seeing if we can figure out what that may look like even as a phase 0 or a phase 1. If we can't do it in phase 0, I'm more interested in getting our first our MVP online and making it as easy as possible in phase 0. Um, Especially with what we're looking to have the opportunity with our founding members also be investors in myIRA.fund as a investor in the AI agent brand that we're creating. But let's see. I'm put created hats protocol, and here's the link to our new hats tree, and we're going to do some more stuff on the hats tree before we go on to something else, because right now it doesn't have any functionality, and want to get the functionality where we can use our hat tree or our hat to log into Charmverse. So I'm going to go in and edit tree, and I'm going to bring this over here, and we're going to add a hat. And this is, again, following the same sort of tree over here. We're going to call autonomous admin. And this is a best practices that the hats tree or the hats team recommends. And this is probably to add functionality. So like an AI agent, for example, can come in and add and administrate the hats more autonomously. So we've got the new hat. We're going to call this new hat autonomous admin. And wares, we're going to allow 5 wares. This is something that we can change later because we're not going to make it not editable. So you trigger this and then you can't edit this hat anymore. Not going to add any responsibilities or anything else, keeping this very basic on this right now. So coming back over here, we're going to click on the little plus again and add a hat under autonomous admin. And again, going back over here, we're going to call this one teams. And here's the hat here, teams. And if you're wondering, I am capitalizing team on purpose. I love the acronym together. Everyone achieves more. So that is intentional, if you're wondering. So, and then we're going to add one other hat under here, and we're going to call this the pre-launch team, I believe. Yeah, pre-launch team. New hat. And we're going to update the image on this pre-launch team. Change the image. Let's see. Pre-launch coming soon. Save. We come back out here, pull this out so I can see all the changes that we're making. And that looks good. I'll airdrop the hats to ourselves here on this next step. I'm going to go ahead and deploy this. Confirm. So refresh this here. Okay, so here is our new hats tree, and now I can go in here and add a wearer, yonks.eth, another wallet. Um, Oh, it's only letting me wear one because let me edit this because it's of one. So let me change the wearers to 69, just some arbitrary number. We will likely not have 69 people contributing to our pre-launch team because, yes. So let me deploy these changes. Let me refresh this, confirm. Okay, so edit tree, pre-launch team, 69, save. Yeah, I refreshed that because it had deployable edits and I wasn't sure what those were. So I only see one deployable edit where that should be um, accurate. And this is something too, like we can definitely use a lot more right now, just wanting to create the NFT. And you can see now where it's got 0 wearers of 69. So now I should be able to go in and add more wearers than just myself. Yonks.eth, add another wallet. This is Yonks.eth. I am Lotus.eth. And Mambo DAO.
Yep.
Mambo DAO.eth. Enter. Mint hats. Firm. Just wait for this to finish refreshing. Hats minted. And let me just refresh the tree here. And it should show the 4 wearers now right here. And let me click this and then should show in the little side window the ones that I just added. So I'm going to grab a screenshot of this. And now we can add the NFT. This is the ERC 1155, which is different than Unlock, which uses a ERC 721. And one of the main differences between those two is that the NFT is one of one unique on the 721. So that's one that we could potentially like with our founding member NFT, and that's something else that we could potentially get created today on Unlock, where we can add that workflow. Because, like I said, we're pretty close, I think, to being able to begin onboarding people. We have to right now. We can begin onboarding the founding members, even though that we don't have the custodian IRA piece in place yet, because that's something that we won't need that until people start transferring in their funds that they can do like the actual service. But that's something that I think that we can get that in place pretty quickly. And this is one of the reasons that we're offering for phase 0, our alpha phase for myIRA.fund, a money back guarantee for that first phase. We really want people, and I think that we're going to be able to create an immense amount of value with how that we're structuring this to be a lifetime member, because it's really like a loss leader is what a lot of the way that we're pricing this is, because we're not intending this first 100 members to make money on this. We're wanting to demonstrate traction. But anyway, we got our hats created for our pre-launch team. Let me one of the things I'm going to throw on a clipboard here is I'm going to copy the hats contract, and then the other thing that I need is the decimal ID of our ERC 1155. So this is the copy hat decimal ID, and here's what those two numbers look like. This is the contract for hats, and this is the ERC 1155 token ID. So you'll see where that this comes into play over here when I go into settings in our Charmverse space. Settings, we are going to create a pre-launch team role and permission, add a role, and this is going to be called the pre-launch team. And you can see used this before using the same sort of thing on AiAgents.Box and iLocal FYI. And so we got the role created pre-launch team, and on invites is where we do our token gating. So we're going to click on add a token gate. And this is a digital collectible NFT. And it's an ERC 1155 NFT on the base blockchain. And then the contract address, going back to the clipboard that I just told you, here's the contract address and then the token ID. And you saw where I got those from hats over here again on the hats. Let me refresh this here. Oh, this was the wrong window. Right here, this window. So more copy hats contract, copy hat decimal ID, and again, that's what we're putting into our Charmverse right here for the role. So getting the token ID again off the clipboard. Okay, next. Confirm. And then this is where now that we've got the token gate in there, this is where we select that role that we created in the previous step. And there we go. So now when I go here to Charmverse in my window where I'm on yonks.eth, and I'll open up a new window here, yonks.eth, new window. And we'll have a custom domain. I haven't got that configured yet, but you can see here it automatically goes to the join space, and you can see owns at least one HATS protocol with token ID pre-launch team, which is where at. So join. And then one of the great things about Charmverse is that it imports my decentralized identity from Lens, and I actually like the way that it looks on Lens compared to others. It's got all the URL, it's got all the details in here. I've already been on Charmverse before, so all of those details are good. So this is literally how easy it is to create the my profile since I've already been on Charmverse. So let me just click on, I'm actually going to put in, I'm starting to use some new emojis. This is AI agents and soon myIRA.Fund with the infinity emoji over here. But anyway, click on save and you can see I've got the role pre-launch team and member. I'm going to also elevate myself to admin. Let me actually just do that real quick here in roles and permissions. Admin, let me see if I do it over here. Add members. Oh, yonks, add. So just elevated myself. That's how easy that was since I onboarded using the sign up link. And now I'm here with admin privileges, and now we can start using our Charmverse space. So getting things done on our office hours. Looking at the time, it's we've got less than 10 minutes left. We also created our Charmverse. And we're calling this DAO Portal just to keep things consistent throughout our ecosystem. And the reason that calling it the DAO Portal is this is where we can also add integrations like with the proposals and maybe we could go ahead and just do that because I'm pretty sure that we set up the snapshot space on snapshot. Go ahead, Ernest.
Do you have a bounty board for
No,
stuff?
that's what I'm
Like,
wondering if we can use with rewards.
Yeah.
So I don't know if rewards will be sufficient. I've not used rewards in Charmverse.
Do you want me to test out the rewards by generating some basic rewards for just like filling out some of the content in that Charmverse space and maybe your other spaces? Like,
I would like to understand. So there's several things. I mean, we've got four main features within Charmverse. We've got member directory. That's pretty like just looking at the member directory. You can see me in here. This is pretty basic, pretty run of the mill stuff. Proposals. This is something else that I would like to really understand how that proposals works because this has integration with Snapshot. And that's actually one of the things I was just going to add here real quick because I'm pretty sure that we've already set up. Yeah, let's see, space settings. So yeah, we have my IRA fund. Let me just add the settings on the integrations. So this is also here where you can see KYC, verify the identity of your members. I don't know what this workflow is going to look like with the KYC in Charmverse if we need to do this within Charmverse. But the reason that we looked at Synapse and Persona is because of this reason right here, because we're really wanting to potentially use this workflow, especially from a hyperlocal club's perspective. So this is
Can you
again
drop
why,
the link to the IRA fund Charmverse in there?
yeah, for sure. Let's throw it in Zoom here.
Or I imagine it's just the app charmverse.io slash what myIRA fund.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
And we'll set up the custom domain at collab.myIRA.fund, same way that we have done with AiAgents.Box and iLocal FYI. So this is the other thing too that wanted to show. See where it's got link issues to rewards. So I don't know if the rewards is more GitHub centric, which is a little on the really devy side of things. And this is something that we can potentially work on adding an integration with if we need later. I'm not sure how much that we're going to be using Charmverse within my IRA.fund, and it may make sense just to lean into using issues in GitHub, and that's some workflow that as not a dev that I'm not that familiar with, but it's something that is kind of well, like I said, issues, but it's workflow that we can potentially look at. The other thing here that I was wanting to do right now, publish votes to Snapshot. I'm going to go ahead and connect our space, my IRA fund.eth, save. And that's as easy as that was. I have no idea what that looks like from a workflow standpoint. So there's in here settings. The other thing too that we can explore is the API. This is something too, as not a dev, not that familiar with. There's also another really cool feature, credentials. And this is another thing that we can integrate. They have a strong EAS, Ethereum Attestation Service, for the proposals and the rewards workflow. And this is something that we can and should explore, because this is, again, something that you think about, like DAO reputation. And this is one of the things that we can, add some, because obviously people that are engaged from proposals and rewards are contributing more than people that are just like using the service that we're building here, right? So this is again some of the workflow, because right now Charmverse is the leading tool that we're planning to use in our ecosystem for knowledge base, member directory, and again, the proposals and the rewards workflow is stuff that I don't have personal experience yet within Charmverse. I've only been using Charmverse probably like 8 months or a year or so, and not that active because again, mostly building what we're building here, and you see where we're at on using Charmverse. So all right. Well, this also for I am Lotus and Tyler, make sure that you go through the link there with Charmverse and use the sign up with your wallet. If you just throw that in your Coinbase wallet on your browser tab on your mobile device, that would probably be the easiest. I'm not sure again how much that we'll be using Charmverse initially on. We're like one of the things that I want to create a proposal, and this is something that we can maybe talk about tonight for our upcoming AiAgents.Box office hours here in 4 hours. But looking at the time, always want to be respectful of everyone's time. I'm gonna stop talking and let you all chime in some thoughts that we can put on for coming back on a future session of office hours. We'll be back same times tomorrow. Don't have those events created yet, but I'll do that here this afternoon.
Jason, the paragraph link you put on the chat is not opening for me. It says 404. So I don't know if it's opening for you guys.
Are you talking about the reimagining retirement?
Yeah, that one.
Let me see the one that I sent to Tyler. Let me try this one here. I think that's a different link. Yeah, I sent you, I think, the editor link, and the one that I sent is the preview link. Did that work? Did that work, I'm Lotus?
That one worked.
Awesome. All right, well, I'm stopping the share here. Any other final thoughts before we bring today, day 20, office hours number 12 for my IRA fund here on Saturday, January 25th to a close?
Thanks for all the work on this. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, we're just getting started, but this is definitely the right product at the right time, and it's yeah, looking forward to creating solutions. I really believe that my IRA fund can be a great platform to leverage technology to really give people a lot more choices and access to things that they haven't normally had access to, because right now it's primarily only Wall Street. And this is one of the things with our ecosystem, really looking forward to changing the dynamics as far as access to capital to local businesses. But that's going to take a while to happen. But having solutions where people have more choices with their capital could potentially unlock a lot of capital to invest in hyper-local, cooperatively owned businesses is kind of one of the things that I really want to see unfold here in the next, 5, 10, 20 years. We didn't get to where we're at overnight. IRAs have been a thing since the 70s. I don't remember exactly what their history is, but they've been so prevalent. $15.2 trillion are in individual retirement arrangements here in the United States. 65 million Americans have an IRA. So that's 30% of Americans. Lots of opportunity to create better solutions.
Yeah. So when you're thinking with your local stuff, one of the things quickly that I've always been brainstorming on is just like, how come I can't buy my food through like an exchange interface, right? And really all an exchange is if you've ever been to like an auction in a rural or local community and combined with a farmer's market, except it's okay, this is what you buy, it's your exchange screen is just that screen that allows you to buy and sell from whatever markets you have access to. And in a local contents, in a bioregional sense, you'd want a digital platform that gave you access to uh, local food and local food details that are all validated via blockchain or uh, their social graph, because all these little small farms everywhere, how does Granny with her amazing strawberries living in a suburb also get her extra strawberries to people as much as the 100-acre farm on the outskirts of this like village area? And so these AI tools and the Web3 tools all seem to like help or the opportunity for designing local solutions, because cooperatives, all they do is share their Microsoft Office software so that they can all do their taxes with the same software. Imagine if you're doing your own taxes, your own inventory management, your rewards, your community perks, your social media, community events are all easily integrated. Um, that's
Yeah,
huge for
and
local food in my mind, and in a
it's
way where it's much easier to get local food and spend more time in your community garden.
yeah, and I think a lot of that is the challenge with the like hyper local food is normally a distribution challenge, but then it's also you think about like a lot of these mom
Well,
and
that's the
pop.
use case, though. That's the use case for a lot of this tech is that the personal
It still doesn't
issues.
solve the distribution challenge. And I've had some conversations around food sustainability, and one of the things that we have that we're planning to create a fund that's more of like a pooling of money, not like what my IRA fund is an individual situation, but on our roadmap for iLocal, we are planning to create a we own food fund. And this is one of the things that been having some conversations like with Pizza DAO about having a like a tokenized pizzeria. And for people that want like farm to table food, those are different conversations, I think, than like tokenizing a local pizzeria, for example. But that's when we
It
have
could just
some.
as easily be a community garden, though. Now imagine your community garden that's managing its own DeFi, right? And then,
Yeah, and there's just not very many community gardens, and as far as a lot of those community gardens are more of a hobbyist situation, and they're not really looking to create food to sell to the local community. But I think that we can
but they will.
leverage. Yeah, we can definitely leverage technology, and I think just fostering more community centricity, because we haven't had, in my opinion, that much community centricity here in the 21st century, and that's one of the things that we're looking to foster. And we will be having our next iLocal FYI pre-launch conversation on Monday during the same time slot. That's probably going to be the first thing that I get scheduled, and really looking forward to creating a global movement for fostering local community and cooperative ownership using on-chain technology. So very equally excited, and this is one of the things that we will be using to with tokenomics from myIRA.fund, and we'll be talking more about that in office hours here, maybe even tomorrow. Like we do need to talk about some tokenomics conversations. So I'll put that on the list to talk about during tomorrow's office hours. But planning to use the tokenomics from my IRA fund as a public good towards AiAgents.Box and iLocal FYI. And then when we get some treasury there, if we do a great job launching my IRA fund, then that can provide another mechanism for, helping foster local food systems, because that's definitely a concern, and something that I think will be that we can shed some light on. And I love the conversations that been having, and I'm just getting started having the conversations in the BioFi community of practice. And I'll be sure to link you up on that, Ernest. That's one that I would definitely recommend you to plug in when you
Yeah, I
can.
just noticed that.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, we'll be back here in a few hours to for our upcoming AiAgents.Box office hours as a part of our 180-day live stream sprint and marathon. Again, this is day 20, so that puts us like, what is that? A little over 10% of the way through our live stream challenge. But until next time, everybody.
See you later. Bye.
Ciao.